20 years ago, this man begged me to write it. We were at the war front. If you remember, I was a young colonel. I put my life on line for Nigeria. We wanted an interim government. This is against Abacha. And I worked with Shehu Yaradua, may his soul rest in peace. I worked with Beko, Sanson Kuti, may his soul rest in peace. I worked with Obasanjo, who agreed to be the chairman of the interim government. I reminded you can say, you remember that his organization? I have contacted all of them. I said, have you read this book? They said, I'm not going to read it. But I said, now it is time for us to bring the devil out of this man called Obasanjo. Everybody is ready. National Organization, Nigerian Organization for Unity. He was going around the whole country, if you remember, conversing that Abacha must go. Shehu Yaradua was in the Constituent Assembly, if you remember. They actually brought out a constable when the civilians should go. I was a young colonel, and I gathered around the whole country. We call ourselves crack colonel, that the military must go back to barrack, operation with lion hearts. The military must go back to the barrack. We set up an interim government, review that June 12 election. We set up committee, and Obasanjo agreed to head that interim government because Babangida did not give me the first one. They are living witnesses. His coordinator in my committee, Captain Yahya, and Ide Yahya, is alive today. One of us, which he forgot, he came to Abuja, myself, himself, Captain Yahya, Shehu Yaradua, and somebody he made an ambassador. I won't mention his name now. We call him Professor. We met and agreed in Abuja, this is what we are going to do. And this man lied. He's lying. He's going to die in prison. I can assure you this. Time is out now, like they say. Everybody is now coming out. He made a mistake. Because I told him when I gave him that letter, Yaradua gave him that letter. He said, don't use this letter unless you confirm from President Bello Fadile. I wrote the letter as a propaganda. We were propagated 16th October 1995. Now, what he forgot, there are so many other letters. In his letter to Yaradua, which I have a copy, he said, you know we are here because we wanted to put things right in Nigeria. That's what he wrote. I ask you, please stop smoking. Obasanjo was sentenced to 15 years, Yaradua was sentenced to 25 years. In that letter, he was calculating how old he would be when we leave prison. This is the man that said, I begged him that I implicated him. I wasn't planning a coup. So if I was not planning a coup, how can I implicate him? I wanted an interim government. I made 8 different statements under torture, and I maintained what I was saying. I wanted an interim government. How are you going to do it without removing Abacha? I hadn't finished. I had not finished planning. And I said, ask Abacha. Abacha knows what I was doing because I told him that the people, the world is fed up with the military. Let us go back to barrack and hand over to civilians. There's a gentleman, Honorable Justice Karibu White, is alive today. I was sending him to Abacha in detention. My mates, Kode Mopai, we got a phone. We had a phone, they were in Intercenter. I was in the Ikoyi, we were communicating with the world. And on 16th October, when we came, they moved all of us to Kirikiri prison. He called me. He was staying in the ward. The warder is there, that's what he forgot. There's a warder in the clinic because they put him and Yaradua in the clinic. When we were in the condemned cell, he called me, Bello, I want you back, get him back on source, buy me for paper. I told Yaradua I'm not writing. He said, right. That's why I pity Beko is not alive today. In my cell, we all drafted this thing. They say, well, you are the leader, sign. And I signed. I gave it to Yaradua. I have a copy, which when he was denied that he didn't have a copy, he didn't have a copy. He sent Lieutenant Colonel, who was the DGSSS, to my wife to go and bribe her, to beg me to come and testify before Okuta. I said, people lied there. What did I say in Okuta? Just say there was no coup. That was, the records are there. Just say there was no coup. That's what Obasanjo did. A liar. who will never die well. And it is that he's asking for divine intervention. The divine intervention will pray, let him go back to his prison, and there he will die. We can visit him then. Nobody should be afraid of him. He's not a Christian, he's a cultist. So take note of that. He's not a Christian, he's a cultist. I have my friend, the Dean of Faculty of Law, University of Jos, where he wanted to read law. And that's why they moved him from Jos to Yola. I know the conversation that went before him. So to now point at Bello as the one who implicated him in a coup that does not exist, in an interim government he agreed to head. I see how the speech, his professor, we call him professor, whom he wanted to make the secretary of government, when he came in, he disappointed that one and sent him as an ambassador. He is alive today. I have his draft speech. He and Obasanjo agreed on. Gentlemen, don't be afraid. He cannot do anything to Nigeria. And more will come to reveal the liar in Obasanjo, who does not qualify to be called a general, because he's a serial liar, a pathological liar. And somebody was telling me that he published a letter he begged me to write him. He begged me to write as a propaganda to show the Yoruba people what wasn't going on. Because I didn't want to die. I was defending myself and I had to put a defense. I'm not supposed to tell the truth when I'm defending myself. They have to prove the case against me. It is the prosecutor's duty to prove the case against me. And there was no evidence of coup. I accepted that I was planning an interim government. In all the statements I made, I was very clear. I didn't say I was planning coup. And Obasanjo agreed in a meeting with General Yaradua, one Captain Yaya, Anyide Yaya, one other individual whom he made ambassador to head that interim government in Abuja. He published my letter. He has not published the letter he wrote to Yaradua, agreeing, accepting why we went to prison. That is what is annoying. And that is why I say he will die in prison. He's going to go back to that prison. There are a lot of allegations that the government have been overlooking, and you can't do that. If the man say he's honest, then let him prove it. Let him go to court and prove it. Is he in the oil sector? Even during Babangida era, you remember some letters, correspondence that was going left and right. Even during his period, he was Minister for Petroleum Resources. How did he share our money? I mean, how did he share our allotments, oil blocks, and all the rest of them? It is enough. You should show the world that he said we'll fight corruption. We should start from him. Evidence I have found now, concrete evidence, apart from the one I have, apart from the others have.